DIY or Die, Walker Vapor Group LLC, or any of its associates do not condone nor encourage the use of nicotine, vapor products, or any mood-altering substances without the explicit consent of a physician. The content viewable on this channel is strictly for entertainment purposes only and not meant to be seen as informational or educational. Must be 21 years or older to view these materials.
Silky beat. Hello, what is up, mixers? Welcome back to another episode of the MIXINVIXENS. My name is Emily, also known as Mel Nikon, and let's say hello to our other Vixens. First off, we have the lovely Lumi. Hi, Lumi.
Hi.
Hello, hello. And then we've got Jen, the E-Juice Fairy.
How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday.
Hi. And last but not least, we've got Mixtress Rin. Hi, Rin.
Hi.
How is everybody doing?
Trying not to freak out over this stupid coronavirus crap.
Right?
Yeah, that's all I hear about. I mean, for me, I feel like the only thing that freaks me out about it is I feel like I'm a healthy enough person that I had H1N1. So I was one of those unlucky folks that had that. But I don't want to bring it home to my father-in-law or my aunt or any of the older people in my life or somebody with a compromised immune system, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm not so worried about the virus itself. Like, if I get sick, I think I'll survive. Like, I'll be fine. But what I'm worried about is how people are reacting and panicking and, like, you know, what they're doing. Like, I think that's an overreaction, but
yeah, I agree. The general population's reaction is the overreaction that I worry the most about.
At the same time, like, I want to be prepared and not underreact and take it seriously. You know, have the essentials in case you're quarantined or something. But you don't need to be.
I think that maybe since I come from tropical islands where I was in Hurricane David when that devastated the Dominican Republic, and we had no power for 3 or 4 weeks. Then I was in Hurricane Hugo in Puerto Rico, and that was terrible and devastating. And then I was in Andrew in Miami. I mean, they followed me every damn where, and that was 2 months with no power. A lot of, buckets of water. There's no running water. There's no nothing. I'm in a big city. So I think that with those experiences in my life, I think I have a good grasp of what it is that really it means when they say essentials and plan long term. And one of those things, instead of paper towels that all these people, I went to one of those Dollar General stores and bought a bunch of washcloths. And I mean, I bought 50 washcloths because if I have washcloths and a bucket of 10 parts per million bleach solution, I can just use that to clean. What do I need washcloths for? You know what I mean? Anything that's not reusable and has to be thrown away afterwards, to me, is no good to me. I need things that are reusable. And I just have a checklist of things that I feel like I need. And I think I'll be fine. I mean, like a huge bag of charcoal, stuff like that people aren't thinking of that. I don't know. I think people are preparing for the wrong thing.
Yeah. Whipping their butt.
Yeah. I mean, what the hell's up with the TP? I mean, I understand having to have TP. I have some, but god dang, you need freaking food. And we have plenty of food in the grocery stores, and you need stuff that is going to sustain you if say the power goes out. But the power ain't going to go out. This ain't a hurricane. It's just you have to stay home. So people are scared to death of having to stay home. That's all it is. I went out and bought alcohol. Fuck it. I have to be here with my husband and my kids. I needed vodka and rum, and I needed some beer, and I needed some stuff.
Just bug out bag. It's just a bag of beer.
Yeah. Cheers, y'all. I figured I'd get the good stuff while I can.
Yeah. How was your weekend, Lumi?
Pretty eventful. I've been working on some stands and things. There was a funny little meme that I saw, and it was like the toilet paper shortage because for every one person that sneezes, 10 people lose their shit.
That's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, my favorite meme of the weekend was I used to cough to cover my farts. Now I fart to cover my cough.
That's cool. You know, Megan, my wife, she had like a 24-hour bug or something just recently, so she was sick. And I was like yeah, panicking or anything, but I was wondering, like, is it the coronavirus? So I'm like, okay, hold your breath for 10 seconds. Like, how are your lungs? You know, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, how do we, but she's fine now. It was just like a 24-hour bug. But it's like,
I know. It's just, I mean, we're overreacting, but it's definitely something that might actually help stop the virus. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's better to overreact than underreact, I guess.
If we can just avoid having our medical community overly saturated, that's all that we can kind of hope for. People get the flu, people get sick, things happen. There's no controlling that. But if we can control our hospitals from being overly saturated and our healthcare workers,
right, because
that's the goal.
Like, if you're a normal, not normal age, but like if you're not at risk, if you're not like a child or an elderly, like there's really no treatment for it. Stay home. Like, it just has to run its course, right?
It's not affecting children like that. So only people are immune compromised, people and elderly. That's it. So children are pretty much they're recovering and bouncing back. The problem is just the spread. So I mean, it's an overreaction, but I think it's a necessary one, in my opinion.
I know I already got the notice because I am immune system compromised. So I've already gotten the notice to be like, be clean, be careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what drives me insane. Cause it's like,
did people not wash their hands before this?
No.
Well, maybe we're starting a new good habit.
It was like 6 out of 8 people don't wash it. It was like some kind of ridiculous thing. And that's disgusting.
That is.
We live out in the country, so I mean, between fishing in my pond, hunting, I mean, we'll be fine for me.
It'll be good.
Chickens, I mean, my neighbor has chickens, we have eggs, we have meat, we have fish.
You're good. All right. So how did everyone like mixing up this profile this week?
I loved it. I fell in love with it when I saw the damn picture. I was like,
yeah, you mixed it up like the day you picked the picture, right? Like, you were just on it.
I was like, oh, I got to vape that. That picture looks like something I want to vape.
How about you, Ren? Did you like mixing this up?
Not particularly. I don't like papaya. And I mean, it's like at the forefront. So it's like, I could have just omitted it, but they clearly want papaya. So I took it as an opportunity to try the Wonder Flavor one that I haven't tried because I hate Flavor Arts papaya. I think it's gross.
Yeah.
So I guess I took it as an opportunity to try it, if nothing else.
Yeah, Wonder Flavors papaya is pretty good. In fact, I just use TFAs, but the Wonder Flavors is, I think, better. I actually kind of enjoyed it. Like, I made probably 3 or 4 versions. And because everything, like all the fruits in this, like the passion fruit and papaya and like the mango, like they're also kind of funky fruits. It was hard for me to get the balance right and get like the sweetness up a little bit to balance out that dark, earthy kind of funkiness of the papaya and the other fruits. But I got it, and I kind of enjoy it. Like, this isn't something I would normally mix for myself to vape. But I kind of enjoy it, and my wife really likes it, and she hardly ever likes anything I mix, so it's a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's springtime going into summer, hopefully. So it's a nice little transitional recipe to get you in the mood.
I hope. It snowed here yesterday. I was like, what the actual heck is going on? Can't believe it's snowing. I'm so ready for spring weather.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of fruits in there to give you some kind of freedom.
Yeah.
But you really have to like papaya. I mean, it's...
There's one flavor I didn't see till after I had mixed it, and I thought about adding it in there, but then with my fridge clunking out on me yesterday, I just never got back to the recipe this weekend to just see if a touch of this or a touch of that would have given it some zing. Plus, it already steeped, and I've already baked half the bottle, so it was just one of those things where that was it.
Well, there's so many fruits in there, it's hard to get them all in there without it turning into a mess.
Yeah, I left one out, but I used something that was supposed to give it the essence. So who wants to go first?
I'll go. All right. So I used the Wonder Flavors papaya at originally 0.5%, but there was something funky in there. It was too funky, so I backed it down to 1/4, so 0.25. I also put in, Blue's hair is all over my face, 0.25 mango from Flavora. I think that was also at 0.5%. I think the 2 funky flavors in there was just too much, so I had to back those down. I also used 1% of Guanabana by Flavora because I wanted, like, to me it's like a smoother type of fruit. I definitely get like a banana essence without like the banana flavor. It's more of like a textural kind of thing. And there's like a little bit of citrus to it. To me, it's like a pineapple-ish kind of thing. So I figured, and it's very tropical. Like when I vape it, it's very tropical to me. So I used that at the 1% to kind of smooth out the rest of all the fruits that are in here, as well as give that tropical note and like that little bit of pineapple or whatever else is in there. I also used 0.75% marshmallow vanilla by 1-on-1, also to smooth out everything, because without it, because I really wanted to stay away from like adding a cream or a whipped cream, because I wanted it to be very fruity. But unfortunately, because there's just too many tart and citrusy things in here, I couldn't vape it without adding something. So I added that for like a little bit of body to smooth it out a bit, and it adds a nice little light vanilla note. And then I did 0.5% of Vape Train Fizzy Sherbet for like that little bit of lime, because with everything else in there, I just wanted to kind of throw the lime in there. It's okay. It's nothing I would vape willingly, because I just don't like papaya. Like if I were to like switch that out with something else, I think I could definitely make something I would vape. I just don't personally like the papaya. But it's definitely better than Flavor Arts papaya, because I couldn't even, ugh.
I wish I would have thought about fizzy sherbet.
Yeah. It's hard when you have so many flavors and they're nondescript like that.
Yeah.
But
I just didn't think about it. That would have been a flavor I could use.
Can you actually pick out the papaya at 0.25%?
The problem is I am not very super familiar with papaya. All I know is I'm getting something funky that I'm not familiar with. Since I'm familiar with everything else there,
yeah.
It's like, okay, that has to be what it is. And backing it down helped, but it's still very there. And I don't know if it's just the mango that's kind of enhancing the papaya-ness.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't want to omit them.
Similar, like mango has that kind of funky.
Yeah.
I think those two probably enhance each other pretty well.
Yeah.
It looks good though. Like I like the mango you used, and guanabana is a perfect pick for this type of recipe.
Yeah, and it's a flavor I don't use very often, because although I don't mind tropicals, it's not something that I think, oh yeah, I want a tropical today.
Yeah, right? Yeah, same with me. Like I don't mind vaping this at all. Like I'm cool with it, but it's not something I'm just gonna go out and be like, I think I want to make something tropical.
Yeah. It's okay.
All right, well, I'll go next. So I named mine. Where'd it go? Papaya Lime Love. And I went with I did a little bit more of a mango forward mix. I know papaya's like in the front and like, you know, the biggest of all of them, which there's still plenty of papaya in this, but I used mango to kind of help balance it a little bit, and I'll talk about that why in a second. I did 2% FA mango Indian special, 2% TFA papaya, 1% vape train shisha lime, 0.5% Capella super sweet. I put it in the recipe this time because to me it's like it's necessary. Like you have to have the super sweet in this. And then 2.5% Capella sweet mango and 1.5% vape train yellow passion. I like yellow passion because it's very like deep and syrupy, but it has a funkiness to it that I think played along well with the papaya and the mango. But the reason I did so many versions, it was hard to balance out the funkiness of all these fruits with like, then you've got this lime, right? And it was just kind of disconjointed. So I added in the Capella sweet mango to add some more sweetness as like a basier level to kind of balance all out and blend it all in a little bit better. And it worked out really well.
Yeah, I originally had that vape train yellow passion in there as well.
Mm.
And it was just overload of funk on top of the mango and the papaya. I just took it out.
Yeah, I had
funky, but I liked
it in one of mine too, and it was just too much passion fruit. So I was like, okay, I gotta change this up a bit, and I just went with flavors I know.
Yeah, no, I leaned into the funk, but then it was too much funk, but I didn't want to take any of it away. I just wanted to balance it better. So that's when the sweet mango came in to give the funk some sweetness and make it more taste or like delightful, I guess. And then that shisha lime, I don't really have much experience with this flavor, but how it is now, it's just like a back note on the tail end of the vape. So it's not very limey or citrusy. It's just kind of a nice balancing note at the back, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's really nice. I mean, that's where I have a problem was balancing the lime. Everything I mixed lime into, just that was like the predominant, that was my first flavor, no matter how little bit I use. But those are my taste buds. It's not necessarily what everybody else is. You know what I mean?
And some of the other versions I tried, I did TFA key lime, which was good, but it just wasn't like strong enough. Like it was a nice candied lime, but it just wasn't bold enough. And I even did that because it was TFA. I think I did that at 2%. And then another version I tried was Vape Train Persian lime, which is a very like bold, bright, top heavy lime. But it wasn't sweet enough for them. Even with super sweet in it, it wasn't sweet enough for the mix. It was just the funk was winning over. So the shisha lime is perfect because it's a little bit of a deeper lime, a little bit more syrupy, a little bit more mellow. Like it's not as bright as Persian, but it's sweet and kind of candied. So it worked out really well.
That's good because when I used the TFA lime, that's all I could taste. And then anytime I put any lime into mine, that was my top note. And I'm not a good judge for lime.
It's hard to get lime in the background, like it's to not take over things or any citrus really, but I'm really pleased with the way this came out because it just is a nice, and you need the lime in here. Otherwise it would be too syrupy and funky and deep and earthy, like the lime just kind of just balances the mix out. It's really good. You guys should mix this up. Anyone who likes these kind of fruits together.
I might, because these are the kind of fruits I like. And I need to find a way to use lime that I can actually use and it fall back. So if you're telling me it falls back on this, maybe I need to try it.
Yeah, try it. Maybe it won't give you like burn out your flavors so much. You were saying before the show that lime, you kind of get vape fatigue off of vaping lime.
I mean, after one tank or one full squonk, I mean, that's it. And then I can't taste anything for like a week or two. And with spring right here, I mean, I walk outside, my allergies have already kicked in. My nose is red today. I mean, it's already happening for me. It's North Carolina is terrible. It looks like yellow rain outside with a fog of damn pollen. So I just can't do it, especially not in the spring. I already have a problem tasting stuff in the spring. I don't want to make myself go there, you know?
Yeah, lemon does that to me.
Lemon too. It's lemon, lime, orange. I mean, it was citrus note with a heavy citrus note. There's one flavor that doesn't do it, and I don't know why. That's passion fruit. Which one is it? Pink guava from. Or that doesn't do it to me, and that's very
good. That's very citrusy. Yeah, that's more like a grapefruit.
I don't know why it doesn't do it. Weird. I can go next if you want me to.
Sure.
Do it.
Do it. Okay. So let's go with, let me pull it up. So I made a couple of versions of this, and this is the one I kept. Okay, so I started off using limes, and like I said, I just cannot use limes appropriately. So just heads up, that's what the sour wizard is in there for. It's my little bit of tartness.
Little tartness, yeah.
To balance things out. So I use Epic Vanilla from Mullenberry. That's mostly to round out the edges and give it some thicker body. I use that at 1.50. I use Indian Mango from Flavor Art at 2.50. I use Marzipan at 0.25, and I'll explain that in a minute. I used papaya at 4%, so I leaned into the papaya because that was the main flavor in the picture. Pink Guava from Flavora at 0.50. And Sour Wizard at 0.5, and Sweet Guava from Cavella at 3. Okay, so this is my thinking, right? So I used the papaya as the main note. That's my big flavor in here. Papaya was the first picture that you see when you first see this. I also noticed after the fact that there's pineapple in the background. Yeah. I didn't see it till after I had mixed it.
We were talking about this last week. Like, I see pineapple.
Yeah, I didn't see it until after I had already mixed it and let it sit. So I leaned in with the 4%. I used Indian Special at 2.50. I find that Indian Special from Flavor Art is a pretty strong mango. However, mixed in with the papaya tones it down quite a bit. Mm-hmm. But it's still there. You still know you got mango. So I would say that it's mostly papaya and mango, my mix. Those are my strongest notes in there. I used the pink guava from Flavora at only 0.50 because I didn't want it to take over. And that flavor is pretty strong. If you use it, it's going to be like a primary flavor if you use it any higher. And I just wanted the tartness from it. I wanted it to show up for the party, but I didn't want it to be the main event, And then I used Sweet Guava from Capella because I needed something that was sweet and syrupy to bring it all together. So people that don't like anything super sweet wouldn't have to. And Sweet Guava from Capella is sweet enough.
I bet the funkiness kind of blends in really well with that.
It totally just turns it into kind of like a juice. Kind of like a smoothie. Like if I took all these fruits and turned it into a smoothie, especially with the Epic Vanilla, the marzipan is in there to act with the Epic Vanilla in the rounding out, but to boost that vanilla note without having to add any more vanilla, because I was afraid if I used any more vanilla, it would actually just be too vanilla heavy. But I needed a little extra smoothness. It kind of gives it a waxy feel. It just pops in there. And the Sour Wizard kind of balanced the pH to a level that it separated my flavors. So I feel like the marzipan and the Sour Wizard separated my flavors so that you can pick up the notes a little bit more, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. That was really smart how you used that. And I bet that pink guava, just a touch there, adding a bit of citrus, punch to all those deep, funky fruits. I bet this is really tasty.
It's actually, that is my citrus note in there without having to use a lime. But that's what the Sour Wizard is there for. It's my lime note. It's my essence of just getting a little squeeze of lime in there. I didn't want to use too much. I don't want to hurt myself in the process of vaping this. It is very smooth and it's thick and you can feel the smoothness of the vanilla in it, but it's mostly fruit. So if you didn't have an enhanced palate and you weren't a mixer and you hand this to somebody, they won't even really realize there's vanilla in there. We would all know because we're mixers. People that are watching are mixers. We can pick up those notes, but an average taster is going to just taste the fruit. They're going to think it's a fruity mix that's thick.
Nice.
I use 0.5% super sweet, but it's not necessary.
And I like that you used Mullenberry Epic Vanilla as your vanilla to kind of round things out, because that's a really good, like, it's not too rich or deep, but it's a little bit of a darker vanilla, like it's kind of a medium, nice medium.
Not so creamy like normal vanillas, but it's not as thin as Flavor Art vanilla. Any of their vanillas, Vanilla Classic or vanilla, it's not that thin either.
Yeah, it's a good medium. It's good at doing what you used it to do. So I think it was a very good choice.
That's it. I've been vaping it for about a week.
Wow, you waited a week to vape it, huh? Because you had mixed it up.
I mixed it up on February 11th is when I was done with this same recipe, but the percentages were off. And then after vaping it that day, I came back and just adjusted my percentages a little bit. There was some things that were too mild and other things that were a little bit too high. So I adjusted my percentage. I actually had to boost it up because my original recipe was like 9%. This ended up at 12.25. I had the pink guava higher and I had to lower it some because it was showing up for the party too up front. There was just a couple of tweaks I had to do it, but then after that I waited a week and then vaped it.
Awesome.
I mean, I always vape it on the day I mix it, but I don't vape it.
I see you put in the notes that you added Flavor West sweetener to this.
Yeah, Flavor West sweetener, 0.5%. That's it. That's my recipe. Enjoy. If you like tropical, this is up my alley. I don't know. There's not a lot of tropical vaping folks out there, but I am one of them. I like to roll in the funk.
You would.
All right, Lumi. Last but not least.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm totally competent in unmuting myself. Don't worry about this. Okay, so I don't even know what most of these flavors are. I've never had a mango, never had a lime, never had I've had pineapple, but I didn't put pineapple in my recipe. What else haven't I had? That other thing that's in there, and I haven't had the passion fruit. So I kind of just had to research. And I had no idea what I was doing. The one that's in the forefront, what's that one called?
Papaya.
Yeah, don't have a papaya, but when I was reading on it, somebody said it had the texture of cantaloupe. Apparently, it has nothing to do with cantaloupe, but when I was mixing this,
it does. It doesn't have anything to do with cantaloupe, but you can sub it with a cantaloupe most of the time. It just be missing the funky notes.
I'm gonna cut whoever keeps opening your door. Anywho,
it's my dog. Feel free.
Anywho, I used cantaloupe in there. I put it at 1.23, mango by Flavora at 1.12, and to back that mango up, I used sweet mango by Capella at 1.32, passion fruit at 2.89, milk and honey by Flavora 0.89, and smoothie base at 1.28. Originally, I was thinking about just doing a plain fruit, and I also saw that like most of the fruits that I used way lower than they were intended to be used at, but I didn't want to risk it being potent. So honestly, I have no idea what I'm vaping on. But it's interesting. It's yummy. I'm not hate vaping it. I used the smoothie base and the milk and honey because I thought the fruit itself would just be too weird without having something else in there. And I figured we'd also get the citrus note from the smoothie base. So the smoothie base is what's really up front. The other fruits seem to be in the back note. I get a little bit of honey off of it. I don't know what the fruits I'm tasting are though. No idea.
I bet that looks really good. I've never would have thought to put milk and honey in it. And I bet with the cantaloupe, I bet that's pretty darn tasty.
I bet it is too. I bet that milk and honey served to darken it and give it that fleshy funkiness. I mean, I bet that mixed in well. It's one of those weird things, you know. Sometimes I use caramel for that, but I bet milk and honey had that same effect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was also hoping the milk and honey would back up the smoothie base because the smoothie base is so forward on lemon that I was kind of like, I need something else. So originally I was looking at Wonder Flavors honey and cream milky undertones by 1-on-1, but I smelt smoothie base and milk and honey together and they just seemed like a match made in heaven. So I was like, we're going with it.
Sometimes you just got to go with it, honey.
I went with it. I'm not hate vaping it. I don't know what I'm tasting. It's interesting. It might not be the most tropically of tropicalness. I'm really not familiar with fruits like these.
It looks very tropical to me. It's got cantaloupe and mango there, and it's got passion fruit. I mean, it looks pretty tropical to me, but it does look like a smoothie. So
Yeah,
what you were going for, so.
Yeah, I didn't really want to do just a plain fruit. I'm not really familiar with either doing plain fruits either. It just feels naked.
Yeah.
You're doing a plain fruit.
I want a bakery with my fruit.
And I want some WS23, although I omitted it from my recipe. I did add it to my recipe after the fact. Like,
did you?
When I got to the point where I wanted it to be chilled, so I just dropped a couple drops of, it's not in the recipe, I just dropped a couple drops in my bottle, shook it up, and started vaping it that way.
How have you never had a lime, though? That's what I want to know.
Me?
Yeah.
I have a citrus allergy.
Oh, that makes sense.
So a lot of tropical fruits are kind of just alien to me. I know some of those weren't tropical, but they're still in the exotic fruit realm that I just haven't.
Just would rather stay away from to be safe.
Yeah, I don't know enough about them to know if they were safe. But I found out they're not tropical or citrusy, so that's a plus. But yeah, pineapples, limes, oranges, grapefruits, things like that can't have.
Wow, that would devastate me, because those are my favorite fruits, is all the citruses, and then I can't vape them. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
I can't eat them, so I get to vape them at least.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's all for me.
Okay. Well, we did have one person play along. Good old Sam. Can always count on Sam. Yeah, I'm not sure why more people didn't play along, but I guess some people don't like tropical vapes or whatever. But
and also got to think, this week we've had this Corona thing going on, so a lot of people have probably been so busy that mixing was probably not there on their forefront. You know, that was probably not what they were thinking. So maybe that's it.
Or they don't like papaya.
Or they don't like papaya. Yeah, they're not.
I don't know what a papaya is.
It's gross. That's what it is.
You know how long I had to sit there and look at Google images to identify the fruits in those images because I didn't know what most of them are? Thank God whatever one that I had, the passion fruit, has an image on it that was really similar to the image on the picture that was chosen. So I was like, I don't have to look up this one.
Papaya is great in a smoothie. And sugared. Like if you make it into a gel, like if you make it into jelly, it's so good. Everybody's like, yeah, whatever.
I've never had it in real life.
I don't know that I've had it as a fruit, but I've had it in like smoothies and stuff, and it was always disgusting. So I just like, maybe one day if like I can have someone like, yeah, this is a good papaya, I'll try it. Because like I didn't like mango at first either, but it turned out it wasn't ripened enough.
Yeah.
And if you eat like a unripened mango, it's super funky, and it was too much for me.
That was something else I saw a lot when I was looking up those fruits was, hey, how to make this smoothie. And a lot of people actually used papaya, mango, and honey in smoothies. So I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I like papaya with bananas and strawberries. I like papaya and strawberry the most mixed together. That's really good. And also papaya, instead of using milk when you make your smoothie, if you put some orange juice instead in the smoothie, and then you throw a banana in there and some strawberries, that's delicious as well.
Cool. I'll try it one of these days. I'll get around to it. So Sam did a PP mango lime, and he used 1.5% real flavors mango.
Wait, you called it PP?
PP mango lime. Papaya passion fruit.
Oh, okay. My brain went in the gutter.
2% vape train mango juice, 0.5% FA marshmallow, 1.25% Wonder Flavors papaya, 1% FA passion fruit, 0.8% Wonder Flavors passion fruit, 1.5% Persian lime, and 0.5% Capella super sweet. I don't think I've ever tried the mango juice by Vape Train before.
I haven't either.
I don't even know if I have it. I'm gonna have to look.
I've never tried that. I don't think I've even seen that, but that sounds very interesting.
I think I have it because somebody said it was good.
All right, let me see if I've got notes on it. Because just because I have it doesn't mean I've tried it. I've got so many flavors I've never tested.
Yep.
Mango juice I have. Oh, okay. Yeah, we must have done a mango episode on Noted. But my notes really suck for this. All I have is sweet and a bit piney. That's awful.
That sounds awful too.
Sweet and a bit piney. Well, mango flavors are, a lot of them are a little piney, but I just said a bit, so that maybe necessarily isn't bad. I didn't even say if it was good or give it a rating, or if it, I don't know if it's thick or thin or top heavy or bassy, or it's just sweet and a bit piney.
And maybe that's it. Maybe it's just sweet and a bit piney. So it kind of tastes like a sweet mango juice. It's probably watery. I would think that's what your description would tell me.
Maybe I just tested it on like the tail end of a whole bunch of mangoes, and I was just tired and had enough of mangoes. It was just like, yeah, okay, next.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're doing like a group like that, sometimes you're just looking for how they differ from each other instead of like a actual note.
Exactly.
Like I know I've had to go back on my own videos because I'll do a lot of single flavor testing, but then I don't note them. And I think, oh, I'll remember. No,
yeah, right.
You won't.
You don't. You won't.
Yeah,
so I have to go back in my own review and like actually like, oh, this is what I thought. Okay.
But I'm a nose smeller of a flavor first. So then I'm like, was this good? And I'm like, it doesn't smell good. And then I'll put it away.
I can't do that because there are so many flavors that smell absolutely wretched, but taste awesome. Or there are flavors that like smell really good, but don't taste as good as they smell. So
yeah, I agree with that. But I can usually pick up specific notes that I don't like out of a flavor.
Yeah.
When I smell it. And so when I say I'm a smeller mixer, it's mostly because I'm sniffing it to see if it's got the notes I'm not going to like in it. I guess I've just I've always mixed by scent. I determine my percents depending on the scent of the
How
flavor.
strong it smells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome. Well,
we got
I
that
guess
awkward silence going on. I guess we're kind of done.
that's the show.
I was reading chat.
That's the show, guys. If you like tropical, mix up some of our stuff.
Depends on which one the guys pick out of ours. It could be good, it could be bad, especially if they don't like tropicals. Dave Bellows put this picture up, so
Don't
think
put fresh on the panel, whatever you do.
don't put fresh on the panel, whatever you do.
I was just gonna say, is he gonna be our judge next week or next cycle? He might
I don't know if we have them.
We haven't decided yet. He's gonna
On
be
the
our
bright
judge.
side, there'll be other recipes to pick, but I know Fresh hates tropical.
Oh yeah, he probably won't pick any of our tropical stuff then, and that's fine. We got plenty of stuff. Speaking of other things, next week's picture, I picked it, and it was submitted by. I should have been prepared for this. It was submitted by Greg Hoffman. It looks so freaking good. I'm so excited to try. This is like right up my alley. It's just like a Reese's peanut butter ice cream, like sundae.
Well, just like you guys were tortured with the tropical for me, I will be completely tortured making that because
yeah,
chocolate are my two not so favorites.
Peanut butter and chocolate is hard to do. This will be challenging.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to give it a go.
I mean, I'm excited too. It'll be something outside of my wheelhouse for sure.
Yeah.
You don't have to do an ice cream. It could just be inspired by the picture.
Yeah, and like Lumi said, she said it looks like cookie dough to her.
Or it could be a tobacco, a nice peanut buttery.
Peanut butter and chocolate tobacco.
Ew.
Or a cigar.
Gross. I mean, it's the actual peanut butter and the actual chocolate I don't like. The ice cream I do like. But maybe that's not peanut butter. Is it? Does it have to be?
Coffee.
It looks like pieces of Reese's cup broken
I was
up.
about to say there's Reese's cups in there, so there's definitely peanut butter. I don't know.
How do I not know that that's not what makes me think that that is not toffee covered chocolate covered?
It could be toffee. Sure, go for it.
Lumi's like it looks like Reese's.
Yeah, it makes me feel like you've been neglecting your chocolate aisle.
I don't even buy chocolate. I don't even buy chocolate in this house, but there's always chocolate here because my daughter loves chocolate. She's a chocolate connoisseur. And it'll sit here. I mean, it'll sit here forever. I'm not a chocolate person. I'm a cake and cookies person. I don't like ice cream either in real life.
Anything with sugar in it, I will down. Oh, house the crap out of anything with sugar in it.
And then, like, when you talk in cereals, they have all these exotic flavors of cereals, and I just go for Frosted Flakes. That's my cereal.
Yeah?
I'm just plain. I'm plain Jane.
You're basic. You're basic, girl. All right. That's the show, guys. We're going to end it early because, I mean, there's no use in just yakking up and talking nonsense just to fill an hour, so...
And just as a reminder, guys, wash your hands. Don't be nasty. I mean, after this coronavirus stuff, continue to wash your hands, please.
Yeah, because you can't just think about because this is the argument I get it's usually guys, no offense. They'll be like, well, I don't piss on my hands. I don't crap on my pants. Like, no, but how many things have you touched?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, how many?
You don't know what those other people are doing.
You scratch your ear, pick
touching
your
yourself.
Scratch your balls. I mean, what? Wash your fucking hands, man.
You're touching yourself. Wash your hands, man.
I love scratching my balls.
I do too.
Just wash your hands after, though.
Hey guys, before I let you go, if you like what we do and you want to support us in a fun, tasty way, head on over to flavorjungles.com. We've got one-shots so I talk words. Oh my gosh!
So check them out.
Words.
Buy some stuff. Jen, Rin, myself, we have one shots. And then if you want to donate to Kisa, but also want to do something for yourself, head on over to Vaping Swag. Lumi, myself, and Rin, we've got swag there. So, we don't get anything from it. All the proceeds go to Kisa, but it's fun. It's a fun way to donate some money, and we're brands, so who wouldn't want to wear us on you,
Yeah, wear us.
And Lumi has her stands and her braids that she sells. So anybody who needs some braided coils, Lumi can get you.
She hook you up.
Got you good.
All right, guys. Have a good day. We'll see you next week.